When asked to do this opinion piece, because I am being asked to write about what I wrote, when I was asked to do the opinion piece, I had to think seriously about it. I really didn't want to do it. I felt uncomfortable, I didn't feel safe. I had to think it over for a few days before saying yes. The reasons against were many. Time, of course, was one issue, and to do the opinion piece justice, I needed to be more vulnerable than I normally would do. This would require sharing some personal information that I chose to share without specific details. I wanted to be transparent as well as congruent. I would also have to give an opinion that I knew viewed could be judged by many and not necessarily heard, maybe even dismissed, and that I would offend government or my own sector. Judging, evaluating, setting criteria, exclusion, not listening is what we all do so easily every day in our personal lives and at work, regardless of whether we say, leave your logos, egos and history at the door and we are listening to you. It isn't any wonder that people who need our services feel overwhelmed by all the hoops, endless questions, majority incredibly personal or barriers that never seem never-ending, and when they just want a home and supports at that particular time. I have a home, and so do many of the people in this room, but a place to live or a home is not currently available to everyone in our community. There are many people who don't have a place to live or who are at risk of losing their homes, sleep on the streets, in the parks, in cars with families, friends, crisis accommodation, refuges and in supported accommodation. Anyone of us can become homeless. It only takes a change of circumstance, a life event such as a war or a pandemic, domestic violence, health issues, a loss of employment, death of a carer or a partner, or if you're a child, you're dependent on your parents or adult carers, you have no choice but to travel into homelessness and poverty with your parent or carer. The lack of adequate income and social assistance, creating the ongoing environment of people living in poverty, there simply isn't enough housing and social assistance and support options to meet the current demands of people living in our community. Our focus must also be on both street homelessness and ensuring people at risk of homelessness don't become homeless. It's totally unacceptable that people are homeless or are living in an unsafe situation and we walk on by. I still see homelessness every day and it really challenges me. It challenges me more every day when I walk around people, checking to make sure people are actually alive when they're laying on the ground. I feel a need to do that because I wouldn't want to be that person that walks by someone who's actually in need of emergency help. While COVID-19 has created major disruption and pain to our lives throughout the world, it's also created a time for reflection, time to reevaluate our values, an opportunity to rebalance and focus on what we believe is most important. It has shown many things we have held important and not as important as others, and we can do many things differently. The opening of our borders is imminent. We have to act now to solve the current homelessness crisis and prevent increasing numbers of people becoming homeless in the future. We've shown what we can do where there's a will, so let's do this together and stop homelessness in our state. And just one last thing for Noel. I just want to say a big thank you, Noel, and for Parity. We must have been extremely difficult to work with and challenging throughout this process. So big thank you for putting up with us all and demonstrating your patience, and thank you.